Hey, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is Rayvenx. We are here with a late night cast between our Div B West Soak Every Lane versus NecroFin Mrgles. No camera here today. I'm going to go ahead and jump right into the action. Let me get this updated real quick. Let me make sure that our maps show up. There we go. Let's talk about what we have going on for tonight. We have a couple of map bans: Soak Every Lane banned Infernal Shrine, or I'm sorry, Battlefield of Eternity and Tomb of the Spider Queen, and NecroFin Mrgles banned Sky Temple and Towers of Doom. First map pick by NecroFin Mrgles, Infernal Shrines. I need to update my stream title. I got the wrong teams. Let's edit the screen title real quick, and then we are going to. Thank you, Arrow, for helping me with that. Versus NecroFin Mrgles. Alright. Had to jump in right after my own practice, get into this really quickly. The team is all ready to go. I just want to talk real quick about what we got going here. Soak Every Lane, let's take a look at their history so far this season. Looks like we played, my own team played against them. We did take a 2-0 domination over Soak Every Lane. They have picked up a 2-0 forfeit from Phoenix Rising Emerald, and they did take a 2-1 over Lurk Patrol. Take a look at NecroFin Mrgles results here real quick. They have got a 2-1 loss against both my own team, Double Kegs, and Who's Knows Gaming, and they did pick up a the forfeit beat over Phoenix Rising Emerald. And if we take a look at our division standings, right now we have Soak Every Lane sitting in 7th place. And I'm not even showing you guys the browser, my bad. NecroFin Mrgles sitting in 9th place. So they're pretty close. With either team gets a win tonight puts them a little bit higher in the standings. So this should be a pretty exciting match to see today. I'm going to go ahead and let the teams know that I am ready to go. And sorry for the sporadic kind of all over the place with our stream today. Like I said, hopped out of my own practice and then into this game. So I am all excited for this. Let's go ahead and get into our draft lobby. Let me know if the sound is too loud. I'm pretty sure it is. So I don't think I can change it. I can change it. Let me change that real quick. Drop that down to 6%, and we should be good. So, first pick on the side of Soak Every Lane. They get first pick, first ban. I think I'll start with a Arena ban. Good, strong. Overall, press right click and try and win the game. So he's gone. Not the strongest on the map, but still an overall good hero. Follow up, Joanna ban, even with the nerfs, great on the map, great on rotations, so Joe is going to be thrown out of here. Mephisto getting banned by Soak Every Lane. I know from personal experience that Mephisto gets work done, so good ban by them. Then we have the Destroyer of Worlds getting banned out, Deathwing. That's unfortunate. We won't see him. I'm hoping to see him sometime this season. I feel like he's still decently powerful even with his most recent nerfs, but it's unfortunately not going to see him this game. First pickup from Soak Every Lane, ETC, good, strong overall tank. Now I know both of these teams. Like I said, played both of them this season myself, so I'm excited to see what they pull out of the hat against one another here. Kael'thas, Anduin, KT, great hero on shrines, good shrine clear, decent overall hero. Anduin to complement the Kael'thas, good heals, good saves, good save ults. Once again, just everyone picking safe so far. Nothing too spicy. Nothing really spicy at all. But Ariel Vala So the duo of doom, we have the potential for a hyper carry here. That would be exciting. Ariovala, tried and true tested duo on basically every map that there is, was, and ever will be. Uther ban, so good response to the Ariovala pickup. Uther has kind of always been one of the go-to for hyper carry, but Tass is still on the board, so that is an option available for Soak Every Lane. Soak Every Lane opts to ban out the Garrosh. Garrosh is definitely frustrating to play into with a lot of heroes, but ETC gets thrown around. As long as he's not sliding aggressively, though, he can kind of negate that a little bit. NecroFin Mrgles following up those picks with a Muradin and a Zul'jin. Zul'jin struggles a little bit into ETC just because Slide can punish Zul'jin before he gets his range stacks from his baseline, but as long as he plays incredibly safe, he should be able to stack well enough to not get punished by ETC. And then Muradin. Muradin's interesting. They don't have dive in their backline, so zoning with Muradin has always been kind of an interesting thing to try and get away with. But Leo, Jaina. Leo good overall once again. Both of those heroes really good on the shine clear. Jaina, once again, overall great hero for wave clear, burst damage. Leo can drain the Muradin all day. And then final pickup from NecroFin is an Imperius. I don't have a lot of personal experience with the hero. I know what he's capable of. He can definitely follow up or initiate for the Muradin. So the aggression's there. The save tools, the follow up, Anduin, bomb with Muradin Imperius, both good potential combo capabilities. So we'll see how they play it. Now, being a Avala Jaina player, I mean, I play pretty much all of those heroes except Kel'Thas, so try to stay away from him as much as possible. But I would have to say both comps are pretty safe. Necrofins, I believe they scale better, definitely with the Zul'jin. Kel'Thas comes online pretty substantially at excuse me, at level 16 with the Ignite talent. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams here. On the left, in the blue, as we switch our overlay, we have Doobles on the Ariel, Kid on the ETC, Philip K on the Leoric, Strogs on Jaina, and DMN on Vala. And on Necrofin Mrgles, we have Matim USP. You have to let me know how I'm supposed to say that. On the Imperius, Nullius on the Muradin, Shogun Misa on Kel'Thas, Fenris on Anduin, and Inveclad on Zul'jin. So offlaners checking bushes, making sure nothing's going on. However, Jaina steps up really far to get some abilities off. ETC goes up to try and peel her out and eats an absolute shitload of damage. That was a ballsy move by Strogs. We got a Vala rotated to the bot lane, ETC looking to give her some space to do some work. Now with the experience changes, the most recent round of experience changes, definitely mages are the way to go to most easily pick up Soak. Double's a little bit alone here in lane. Just kinda, hey, come get me. I'm an angel, I'm free. Let's see how our top lane works here now. Take a look at our talents. We do have Ossian, Standard, Sharing Light. Never personally been a fan of the talent, but I can see where it can be of use. Leoric rotating early for the dual soak, so that is not something that Imperius can follow, at least not particularly well. You are seeing that with the soak every lane pulling ahead ever so slightly in the experience. Camp going to be looked to be picked up by NecroFin, but they will be invaded here, 5v4. So this should be a real. See, two down. Kel'Thas, Zul'jin, no damage left. Fenris walks away with five health. Count them: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is nuts. But the more important number is two people dead, giving Soak every lane free reign to do basically whatever they want. Level 4 is picked up here by Soak every lane. DMN does not care. He's going to step up and do whatever he wants bot lane. He or she wants bot lane. NecroFin cleaning up the camp. They are continuing to fall behind in experience. They got to clear basically on the back foot and hope to step up to this camp or to this objective and try and make some headway. But Soak every lane getting a pretty good advantage going into this with their camp pickup, because it is a little bit too late for NecroFin to step up and take a camp of their own. So they're going to go ahead and step up on point and hopefully send someone to go clear that lane. Good 8-point lead by NecroFin, so they are stepping up. They are going to go ahead and pull the lead. So long as there isn't a ton of damage done. But as I say that, Kid is going to go ahead and eat a lot of damage. Murden hops in, gets whipped away, so Kid walks away with very little health. It's a lot of daredevils, escape artists here. So no clear advantage on this shrine. NecroFin does have ever so slightly more health to step up. However, looks like their Mrgles was up clearing a camp. Now they are back engaged. Mrgles goes in deep, gets whipped away. Matisep go ahead and spearing in, but he's not going to be able to do a whole lot. Philip K going in on the Leo, but he is eating an absolute ton of damage. Mrgles stacking. He did pick up Headhunter, so there's his first stack of that talent. But as I say that, they do drop one, but Soak every lane ends up securing the objective. Now during that time, experience has evened out quite a bit, so oh, big pull in front of wall. That's not what you want to see. Matter's up in a bad spot. He's going to eat a ton of damage, and DMN steps up and actually secures the kill on Leo. Pulling that protector in front of the gate is no bueno. Now with that, because of that, we have a second pull, half health on the objective, so they could continue to push this. Looks like they are going to do so. Shogs went to clear a lane and then decided to join. So one fort down with first objective. That is a substantial amount of value. Plus they pick up another half-level lead and are going to continue while NecroFin is mid, clearing out lanes. Another siege camp pick up by Soak every lane. NecroFin looking like they're going to go ahead and pick up this camp early. Not a fan of the timing, and there's not many people that they have picking up this camp. They're losing Soak in at least one lane, but they can't safely pick up the Soak anyway, so it's not a huge deal, but they are going to slowly continue to fall behind more and more. Invade by Soak every lane, grabs yet another siege camp, and they're going to go for the triple. Grab a bot lane, or bot camp here. Take a look at our talents, bold strategy, inner fire. So we have a Anduin looking to auto, keep his team decently up. Nothing, let's see, do we see anything abnormal about builds? I do see a Mage Zul'jin. That that'll be a thing. We'll see see what they do with that. I don't expect to see that when you have already have a true mage on your team, but see if it works out. Everything looks pretty normal on the side of Soak Every Lane. Actually, this cord is interesting. Guess she wasn't too reliant. Normally with the volley, you don't have to worry too much about energy. So that's an interesting pickup. Level 10's picked up by both teams. No true engage to really be able to take advantage of the lead, but we have Entomb summon Water Elemental. The kid walked into a little bit of a rough spot, but is going to go ahead and whip from Doubles and walk out himself. Philip K stepped up. He's eating a lot of damage. A lot of members of Soak just kind of stepping up for free just to give stacks to Zul'jin and eat a lot of free damage. Ult from Imperius on to the Leo. Chunks him a little bit, but nothing substantial. We have no really high cooldown ults used. Imperius, KT, Jaina, all those ults will be back up by or not long after this objective begins. NecroFin gonna go ahead and rotate down to bot, clear out this lane, and look to set up on camp. Now with Imperius top, Soak Every Lane does have vision on that, so they will know that they have the advantage on this point. You just see slide in onto the Anduin. No mosh or anything. Entomb goes out by Philip. Nobody hit by the Entomb, so Entomb down. Kid eating a ton of damage. She's going to get zoned out by the Mrgles now. Philip K, once again, these frontliners are just getting chunked. They're not able to really be, a front line, be a wall for their damage to actually get much of anything done. Spear in on the back line, however, she did walk away. Good bubble. Soak Every Lane still having a little bit of a rough time stepping up to really get much value, but they are leading the shrine, so it looks like they are able to do just enough to push NecroFin off the shrine. So low kill count. I like these games. NecroFin stepping up into an Entomb. A lot of damage going out by NecroFin despite walking into that. So that Entomb did not quite work out. Tazdingo goes out. Anduin does die in the meantime. I think Tazdingo unfortunately expires just in time for Phoenix to pick up a kill. Actually, the Protector secured that kill. Well, a stun. 3-man stun, I believe. Everybody ups for Soak Every Lane, so 2-kill advantage. They're going to secure the fort, possibly even get some value off this keep wall. Stun pulled to the wrong side of the wall, so they will definitely get more value than they probably should with this Protector. They are going to go ahead and get bot tower, top tower, gates. Question becomes now, you're going to secure 13s. Do they continue to step up and try and pick up an early keep, or do they back off at this point? I'm them. 5v5 up 13s under the keep is probably not the best, but if you manage to get NecroFin to overchase like they're looking to bush gank here a little bit, this does give them the opportunity to pick up kills. That's 5 people stacked. Unfortunately, Leo not using any real abilities before getting burned through. Stroke's taking a lot of damage, having to back out. Kid also taking an absolute ton of damage. He's probably going to pass, and he does. Jaina picks up... what am I missing? What is that? Is that her baseline? That's her ice block, yes. Mrgles went in and got deleted. So, despite a little bit of a wonky engage for Soak, they still ended up pulling away with, let's see, 1 death on Leo, 1 kill. So traded 1 for 1, but Leo death ever so slightly less relevant in the grand scheme of things. Once again, 3 camps, all picked up by Soak Every Lane. So they own this map. Regardless of anything else that goes on, they absolutely own this map in terms of camps and general lane pressure. Now, they did give NecroFin the ability to make up for experience. Bushgank attempt by NecroFin. Kid's gonna walk right into that. He takes a ton of damage and does ultimately go down. Quick quest finished by Ariel. Leo looking to get out. Imperius popped alt, looked to get some value, but was not able to secure any, so just the ETC kill. And he has to be careful because he's not tanky enough to actually get into those bushes without some kind of a check. There needs to be either a Wraith check by Leo or some kind of ranged abilities. The bush checks, the face checks can't continue to happen if he wants to stay alive for longer than 3 seconds. Murden didn't read patch notes. I didn't read Murden patch notes, so I don't even know what that's referencing. I don't recall seeing Murden in patch notes. Philip K sitting in bush trying to throw a hand up. Didn't connect. He's going to go ahead and wave through the team. Mosh out on 2 heroes. Anduin goes down. Looks like Imperius is also going to get killed. Meanwhile, Philip K is running out the rest of the team. So that was a successful attempt at a bush gank. With that, they secure level 16's Leo waving in. Does not have Entomb, but he is going to go ahead and just sit on top of KT. Meanwhile, Murden is 1v4 under his fort, and unfortunately goes the way of Old Yeller. Top fort secured by Soak Every Lane. Now that death timing is really unfortunate for NecroFin because they're down 16s. They're just about to pick it up, but they're going to be at a massive disadvantage in the shrine, and it's probably better for them to just soak all the lanes, pick up try and make up the experience deficit that they have now, and it's like they are going to do so. This most likely, being a Frozen Punisher, unless NecroFin makes God plays, this will secure a keep. There's no reason why it shouldn't. Now, we have no real value, no real damage. Like that was the first tower that NecroFin took down the entire game. Nullus stepped out yet again, bringing the Punisher in front of the keep wall. That is not what you want to do as the tank. You got to pull that behind the keep wall and pull it to mid keep if at all possible. Jumps out on Nullus yet again. Philip K gonna go ahead and Wraith in on top, reduce all of the damages. Try and back out, but he's gonna take a little bit of damage. Roots come out from the protector. Ults, we have actually got a Murden popping avatar. Not a good value use of that there, so that is, if Soka really noticed, that is a good advantage for them. Philip pops Wraith a little bit early and ends up not being able to escape from that. He goes down. Meanwhile, Kid is eating some axis from Zul'jin. Zul'jin half done. He does have his range. Does have 2 stacks. Only 2? Hold on, that can't be right. Oh wow, okay, so they've killed all the same 2 people every time, so that's actually somewhat beneficial for Soak Every Lane. Camp invade successful by NecroFin Mrgles. They have a little bit of an advantage, person advantage, and surprisingly this keep is still alive. That is very much surprising to me. 5v4 situation here for Soak Every Lane. They're going to go in. Didn't get the best slide on the Kel'Thas, but they did go ahead. He's going to go ahead and pop Mosh. Then an Entomb. Philip and Kid are both sitting in bombs. A lot of damage. They ended up securing the kill on the Enduin, on the KT. Zul'jin goes down. Ellis also going to eat several pieces of damage, several bits of damage. And with that, looks like Soak Every Lane's going to go ahead and rotate 2 top lanes, secure the keep. And I think Death Timer's a little bit too low to try and end. But at the very least, they can secure 20s, push the keep, and if they actually do secure 20s, which I don't think they're going to off this wave alone, They could potentially look to fight, but see what they opt to do here. A little bit of a... Okay, I'm just going to grab the wave. So they are playing for 20 at this point. Grab the keep, or grab the prison camp, take that away from NecroFin. And with that, level 20's picked up. They can, at this point, look to basically do whatever they want. NecroFin can't even step out from behind the keep waller, because they basically subject to getting killed literally anywhere on the map. Now, good news is lanes are still pushed in, the experience is being pushed to them, but I don't think they're going to pick up 20s before this objective. So once again, soak every lane gets a pretty substantial advantage, probably just a straight free objective. What happens next is NecroFin, they have any hopes of winning this game, they ultimately need to fight past the objective with 20s and hope to secure multiple kills, then clear the objective and try and make something happen. Level 20s, we do have Silence and Tomb, Winter Mute, Light Speed, so I didn't even say, res was changed, and we don't only, not only do we get res upgrades, so that, let's see how that works out. Death Metal. You just see does slide out. Leo gonna go ahead and Wraith on top of the entire team. Dropping in Tomb, 3 people, 2 people silenced. A lot of damage goes out. Good bubble by Ando, and however, Imperius ends up going down. A lot of damage going out all over NecroFin Mrgles. We get a alt pop on Tazdingo popped, however, does ultimately end up getting killed regardless. So 2 for O, kill Leo really deep in here. He's going to walk away with very little health. Strokes just looking, they're looking like they're aggro, but they're not going to pick up any more kills just yet. But with 2 people down, still not even at with level 20 on the side of NecroFin for NecroFin Mrgles. I think that was the incorrect decision to try and engage on the point. But Silence and Tomb, Philip K getting a nice heal from the Ariel. Follow up Mosh, 2-3 people Mosh. That, I believe, ladies and gentlemen, will be game number 1 to soak every lane. So let's take a look here at our stats. While we wait for the second second map to be picked up here. A lot of damage from Strogs on that Jaina. From the off, Strogs just stepped up throughout abilities whenever possible, managed to not get punished for it. And I think part of that had to do with just Leoric, EGC, Kid, Philip K, both just stepping up and eating all of the damage, all of the abilities. They died for it, but ultimately it allowed their backline to secure an absolute ton of value. Not so much from Kael'thas and Zul'jin. So that was kind of my concern, is there was a lot of, we have 2 aggressive tanks with 2 not so aggressive backliners. Kael'thas, Zul'jin, while they can be aggressive, they don't dive. So you kind of have a little bit of a mismatch with your front line and your back line. And ultimately it made it so that engages were a lot faster than they would have liked for it to have been. Good healing numbers from both. Damage soaked. What's the damage soaked on Leo? Wait, they took that set away, didn't they? Oh, never mind. We'll just have to assume that he took like 300,000 damage every time he wraithed in. Alright, so switch on over to our map choices. Let me message. I believe in Vecland. Alright, so find out what map we're going to next. Hang tight here just a moment. And update the scores here. Alright, so game number 2. NecroFin chose a first pick, so Soak Every Lane is going to take us to Volskaya. So these two maps, it's not uncommon for them to be taken in succession. Both just point like these are the go-to maps for many teams. It's just we're gonna step up and we're gonna grab we're gonna fight on point, and we're gonna push with an objective. It's just they're the most straightforward of the maps, in my opinion, at the very least. So I believe that's a large portion of why these get picked up more more than pretty much any other map. I'd have to look and see what the actual stats are, but I believe that Infernal Shrine is the most picked map by far. Alright, so we have Soak Every Lane in lobby. Just waiting on NecroFin Mrgles to follow up. Let's see. Throw on some music. I think my music key doesn't work because of Susser. I need to see what the key binding is. Control M. Aha! There it is. So we're gonna get rid of that. Goodbye. Okay. So can I do it now? No. Hold on. Set. Uh-oh. That didn't work. Hold on. Yes! Okay. Cool. I can turn on. Just turn this music on and off. That's been bugging me so much because I can't turn music on and off with the keybind. But I can now. Alright. So, like I said, game number 2, we are sitting in lobby for Sky Foundry. Picked by Soak Every Lane. First pick going to NecroFin Mrgles. I'm gonna let the team know I am ready. Are you all ready? You all excited? What's the quote? Are you not entertained? I hope you're entertained. It's late. I'm sleepy. I'm hoping I'm entertaining. Alright, folks, here we go. Hey, I just made it do. Switched to the same overlay. Alright. First ban, NecroFin. Let's see, what? There's Vala. Vala, not something you want to mess with when you have a team that is known for playing her. My favorite hero in the game. Apparently they believe that they got a lot of value, and no doubt Vala, Jaina together did an immense amount of work. I think personally I would probably would have banned the Jaina, but Vala off the map. Mephisto banned yet again. A favorite hero, I believe, like I said, of NecroFin Mrgles, so not gonna mess with that. And once again, no Deathwing. I'm sad. Joe also banned, yet again. Great hero all around, despite some nerfs. Y'all ready for this? Yeah, there we go. I'll have to play that at some point. I'd love to put that in my opening, but I don't want my stream muted. Or I want my VODs muted. Alright, talk about the draft. ETC, once again, good hero, I believe, picked up by the opposite team this game. So see if Nelius can do as much work as Kid did in game number 1. Garrosh Raynor picked up by Soak Every Lane. That's going to be a scary combo. Garrosh, if you're not careful, you're going to get thrown, stunned, and deleted, and Raynor is just going to poke you all day. Anduin, Phoenix. I don't know if I've seen a Phoenix yet this season from other teams. I'm interested. I like me a Phoenix. It's one of the heroes that I haven't played an immense amount for the auto attackers, but he feels so much different than a lot of the other AA heroes. So it takes some practice getting used to using his abilities, using his weapon swap, knowing when to use his teleport in the correct circumstances. So Anduin picked up yet again for them. So good save hero in the Garrosh. So I like that pickup. Kael'thas Jaina ban. So 2 frozen mages no longer on the board for either team. Jaina, I respect that ban. I would, in fact, like I said, have banned that hero. But can't ban all the mages. Crummy comes out, followed by an Ariel, yet again. Ariel, I don't believe our Raynor's as good a battery as other heroes, but he's acceptable, and Doubles took the talent at 7 that allows you to kind of supply more of your own energy anyway. So the hero, because of her changes, specifically her res change, is in an interesting spot. I feel like she's capable of doing a lot. Being able to return a hero after 3 seconds that got erased to 100% health is nutty. Like, you can just basically, if you have an aggressive hero, go in, sacrifice itself, hey, I'm back, bitches, 3 seconds later, go. You know, that's kind of insane. But Nazeebo Artanis, I don't know what to say about those 2 heroes. Nazeebo got a little bit of a nerf to his level 1. And then Artanis, I mean, Artanis is Artanis. I don't think he gives a lot of value on this map. He's basically reliant on, you know, the god swaps, and I don't think they have the follow-up for it. So they can swap stun, root, damage, but they don't have the blow-up from Phoenix and Nazeebo to do anything with it. And then before we hop into game, Philip K on the Leoric once again. I think he did pretty well game number 1, so see what he does with it game 2. Thank you everyone for joining me this evening in this late night cast, last cast of the evening, I believe, for basically anyone, unless we get some replay casts. But this is Div B West, Soak Every Lane versus NecroFin Mrgles. Let's go ahead and introduce our players. Philip K on the Leoric, Strogs on Chromie, GMN on Raynor, Kid on Garrosh, and Doubles on Ariel. That makes up your blue team, Soak Every Lane. And on the right side, red team, we have NecroFin, Mrgles, Shogun Misa on the Witch Doctor Nazeebo, Fenris on Phoenix, Veclad sitting on our Anduin, Nullius on ETC, and Matamusp, I think I said it right, Matamusp 3 on Artanis. So Fenris has a decent amount of poke. Phoenix rather has a decent amount of poke with his weapon swap. However, when you're talking about poke, nobody in this game, nobody in this current match anyway, is going to outpoke a Chromie. So I feel like Soak Every Lane is going to be incredibly frustrating to try and engage into, particularly with the heroes that NecroFin Mrgles has. So we have some confused individuals top lane. Madam's up, or I'm just gonna say the hero. Martana's heads top to pick up a little bit of soak, but nothing missed on the side of Soak Every Lane. Philip K is in the correct lane. There we go. Now we got our offlaners where they need to be. Try and give them a little bit more love this game. I didn't look at them much last game. Swap out to avoid the spooky end. Take a look at our mid lane. We have a lot of things going on. A lot of skirmishing while teams pick up the soak. Stroke's going to be incredibly annoying all game. Good two-man stun by Kid, however, he is rather low. He's going to get slid by the ETC. Fenris and Shogun continue to poke, but Kid's going to walk away just fine. Let's go ahead and pull up our talents here. Oop, not that. So at minute 50, nobody's picked up their camp. We have DMN just now stepping up to pick up their turret camp. These camps should be picked up on cooldown, but unfortunately we are a little bit late. Nobody's showing for NecroFin Mrgles on their side. Philip K eating a little bit of damage. Looks like Artanis is going to go and pick up the turret for NecroFin while Shogun Misa and Nazeebo picks up bot lane soak. That should not be too hard of a lane for the Nazeebo, but Philip K should be more than okay as long as he doesn't step up too far. This healing, I don't think out heals the damage that Nazeebo puts out, but Nazeebo is gankable if he steps out too far in lane. Actually secures the kill. I actually stopped following him. I thought he got away. That was interesting. All right. So a little bit of mis-soak going to happen here by Soak Every Lane. Half-level lead by NecroFin, so they're actually doing things really well so far this game. They picked up their camp a little bit later. They're going to grab the heal camp here, and then they're going to clear top lane with the Nazeebo. Let's take a look at the... Did hit Toads? Okay, so we're not going to get Thing in Deep, unfortunately. But with the nerf, I don't know if it's necessarily that good of a talent anymore anyway. Elias picks up the heal camp. So we have Chromie and... Nazeebo looking to clear out top lane. Down here we have Artanis stepping up really far. I'm not sure if he got thrown, but he, whatever the case ended up being, he does die. Chromie gonna rejoin the party now after clearing the camp top, and this is now a 4v5, 5v4 situation for Soak Every Lane. Kid a little bit isolated by the zombie wall, does throw Shogun into his own zombie wall. Heal camp goes down just in time, however, that does not heal enough to walk Nazeebo out. Both frontliners by Soak Every Lane really low. Backliners looking to step up and hold the point as much as possible. Chromie going to be able to poke and do just enough damage to force NecroFin off the point. Both teams sitting around 60% as Soak Every Lane reclaims the point for themselves. ETC ends up getting swapped into death here. Shogun Misa thrown in, and that ends up being a 2-for-0 pickup by Soak Every Lane, and with that they also secure the point. I'm not sure why the stream would have dropped. I apologize if that caused a problem. I do know that I had the stream playing on my end in the background, so maybe drop, but I'm not dropping any frames, so let me know if it continues to happen or if you experience any lags, please. So, port wall, top well, both secured. Good value. They're actually, Soak Every Lane is up by 3/4 of a level. Good swap on DMN. Good slide, decent follow-up. He just looks like he may walk away. Good self-peels. Protector shield was definitely a key to keeping him alive. Level 10's picked up by Soak Every Lane. They're going to go ahead and look to make something happen, especially with Artanis in the bot lane. NecroFin may or may not give them the opportunity. So what they're going to go ahead and do is look for value elsewhere in the form of this heal camp. Shogamisha a little bit too far out at the wall, trying to get value, and ends up dying for it. Meanwhile, we have an invade by NecroFin. Mosh goes out, however, nice Wraith by Philip K to dodge that. Tomb goes out, doesn't hit, but it does end up cutting off the escape pull, however, by Anduin. Anduin ends up throwing a light bomb onto Artanis, swaps into the team, gets a decent amount of stun, however. He is basically alone, unfortunately, so with Nazeebo just now coming back up, that was basically a permanent 4v5. Nellius getting thrown back into the fight, and he goes down as well. So there is 2-0 yet again for Soak Every Lane. So take a look here at our damage stats. Chromie is continuing to get damage value. Kills primarily... how do I see it here? I'll just go to the screen. Nope, not that screen. Nope. Guess I don't use... try this screen. There we go. So kills primarily being picked up by Raynor, of course, being able to secure with the autos. It's always a good thing. Shogamisha needs to be careful, he's going to get caught out yet again, and Tomb is up. He can actually turn, just drop this. He does do so, steps in, but do we have any follow-up in order to actually secure the kill? We do have a really nice light bomb. Curious, I didn't actually quite see if he got any shields on Shogamisha, so managed just in time to get in there and help the Nazeebo to walk away. So Entomb down, multiple ults used on the side of NecroFin, so they're going to have a little bit of a rough time going into this next objective. No ults used by Soak Every Lane. Philip K looking for a little bit of a rotation. He might find himself isolated here a little bit. Does get stunned, does get rooted. He is going to go ahead and pop the Wraith and walk away. And meanwhile, Soak Every Lane starts capping point. They are up 13s. They do have one item advantage. So NecroFin Mrgles opts to go ahead and pick up 13s. They're going to go ahead and go and grab their turret camp. I imagine once they do so, they're going to go ahead and re-engage. Soak Every Lane, not anything really to do top other than sit on point at the moment. Tomb goes out. Oh, he just barely breezes in, able to walk through the hole there. But unfortunately no follow-up able to be had by Soak Every Lane. So that ult down once again. All ults about to be up for NecroFin, so if they're ever going to engage, this is the time. Philip K with a good Wraith onto people. ETC goes in but is ultimately thrown out. Soak actually ends up securing the objective before NecroFin can fully engage. Good ult by Phoenix, ends up not securing any kills, except for we do have Philip K a little bit deep in the backline. He does ultimately go down. DMN, Strogs, all of the DPS low on the side of Soak Every Lane, so this objective may end up not really actually securing any real value. Trying to swap the Protector, not a good thing to do. You're going to die if you do that. Let's see if Thanos walks out. It does get pulled. Leo up. This is the perfect opportunity for an Entomb. Let's see if he drops it. Endo and ult ends up securing 0 value, just enough to, looks like, scare off Philip K. Slide attempt missed by the ETC. All heroes back up for Soak Every Lane. Leo wraithing around, seeing what he can do. Strogs almost gets swapped into fourth. That would have been a very dead Chromie. Still in a little bit of a rough spot, but this objective NecroFin did a decent job to really be able to minimize how much damage this got. They didn't get the bot well, however, NecroFin in a good place to be able to engage. ETC takes a lot of damage, has to get thrown out. 3-man Entomb steps up, however, once again, nobody really able to follow up on the Entomb on the side of NecroFin. Philip K taking an absolute ton of damage, ultimately ends up going down. Ariel goes down thanks to the Mosh. ETC thrown in by the Garrosh is going to be able to walk away. Ult by Phoenix securing the kill on to Chromie. 3 for 1. That is a massive turnaround by NecroFin. They have the capability to turn this map in their favor. It looks like they're going to go ahead and continue to do so. I just realized Decimate on Garrosh. That's not a talent that I enjoy seeing on a Garrosh. Gary used to try and draw some damage. Kid goes and throws the ETC away, who had the light bomb, so ended up saving from light bomb value. However, Philip K stepped up, taking quite a bit of damage, does ultimately go down. Nilius sliding really deep behind while he is isolated really far in there. Throw yet again, and he's going to actually get taken down, unfortunately, for NecroFin, while they have Artanis mid. They're trying to secure value, but unfortunately they're not doing it as a family, as my Captain B-Train would say, and because of it, they end up trading kills, but they lose momentum in their ability to get value. And Artanis is trying to solo a camp. Soak Every Lane saying, "Oh, cool! Thank you for clearing this camp for us. We will take that, and we will use it to destroy you later." So interestingly, first major pickup in the form of a fort for NecroFin Mrgles. That Entomb. Alright. We'll go up here. We'll pretend that didn't happen. NecroFin looking to engage into this, try and pick up a second fort. And this is what I was kind of worried about in draft, is that the damage from, well, actually I was worried about that for NecroFin, so never mind. I was kind of worried about NecroFin's damage, so it looks like they're doing a-okay. 8 to 6 on kills, they are getting decent value. Nazebo is stacked, so this game hits 20. NecroFin is actually going to come online hard. Just see what happens with this third objective. So they're not going to get 20 before the objective ultimately ends up needing to be contested. Nazebo is up top playing with the Leo. I think Shogun actually wins this outright. So see what happens with the 4v4. That is unfortunate for them. Now Naz has a choice. He can either continue to push or come down here and join the team for the 5v, or the to make it a 5v4. Looks like he is going to opt to push. And for the moment, NecroFin is kind of owning the objective. Good swap on Chromie. Going to come out. Blind going to come out. ETC tried to mosh, gets thrown away by Kid. Kid taking an absolute ton of damage. Fenris with a pretty decent ult onto all 4 members of Soak Every Lane. So Philip K is back. Nazebo's down here, so this has now become a 5v5. With NecroFin still owning the point. Good throw and stun. Nice pull. Kid looked for a pick, but ended up ultimately getting picked himself. Double's low. Stroke. Everybody in here in a really rough spot. And Tomb goes down. Nothing really to be gained from it. Philip K definitely in here. Res on Kid, but unfortunately ends up not able to pick up a kill. So many people actually looked like they were low for NecroFin, but they ended up pulling out, staying alive, and They've now secured 20. They've taken an objective. This is huge. Like, 3 dead for Soak Every Lane. Massive push potential on NecroFin Mrgles. I can't even imagine a world where they don't end the game here. They are going to secure the keep. Go ahead and push in the core. Leo has percent damage on the Punisher, but it's, on the Protector, but it's 17-minute Protector, and just the amount of damage that level 20 Naz does. Ultimately, I mean, that chunked core. This core is definitely going down. So after a decent game, I mean, both teams did really well. Soak Every Lane had what looked like control of the game for the most part, and then there was a big turning point where it's just like, all right, well, no, this is our game now. And they went away and pulled the win. Good job by NecroFin Mrgles. So, on our late night cast here tonight, we are going to game number 3. Excuse me while I grab a drink here. So, looking at post-game stats, hero damage specifically, you have 3 heroes on the side of NecroFin that I was incorrect. They did a decent amount of damage. They secured 11 kills. I may have underestimated the capabilities of Zebo. Never been a huge fan of the hero. I just was always a hero that didn't really do much until level 20. But their comp all around just did particularly well. It looks like game 3 going to Praxis Holdout. Let's switch on over to our overview here. So this is NecroFin's map pick. So far, each map chosen was won by the... So each time a team chose a map, the other team ultimately won the other map. I don't think what I said just made sense. Updating scores, excuse me, one moment. Alright, there we go. 1-1. Don't swap me. Alright, so got team swapped. I'm going to go ahead and get them switched over to the correct side just so we have a little bit of consistency while we are watching. So, game number 1, Infernal Shrines, map picked by Mrgles. Soak Every Lane wins that map. Game number 2, Soak Every Lane picks Volskaya, win by NecroFin Mrgles. So, theoretically, Soak Every Lane wins this game, but we'll see how that pans out. All right, so third and final game tonight. Once again, Div B West Nexus Gaming Series, NecroFin Mrgles versus Soak Every Lane. Thank you for sticking around in this late night cast. I do hope that I will see you all through the end of this game and hopefully in the future. Let's go ahead and hop into our draft. So this map, known notoriously for being a very snowbally map, so hopefully we don't see any stacking heroes. Stacking heroes, no bueno. So Joe and Rexar, both good bans for the map. Joe, not so much. I'm not a fan of her here. She's a good tank, but she doesn't lend as much in a two-lane map to rotating and clearing, which is really what she offers. So when it comes to holding a point, Joe is not the best. So I don't think that ban is necessarily needed, but see what is picked up. We do have Garrosh available for NecroFin now. That could be incredibly dangerous for soak every lane. ETC first pickup. There's the Garrosh. So a little bit of swaps. Everyone's well, you did this to us, we're gonna do it to you. And on that topic, Ariel picked up by Inveclad. He is they are not going to allow that to go over to soak every lane again. Anduin and Jaina. Looks like we have teams kind of going back to the standard. These are heroes that we play well. These are heroes that do things in general very well. Let's pick those. I think the music was on the entire last game. I apologize. Leo. Don't want to give Philip K that hero yet again. So, good ban. Has plenty of playmaking capability. Decent at holding the point against most heroes. Most offlaners. And Kael'thas. I don't have anything more to say about that. It's a Kael'thas. He banned. Move along. Mal'Ganis Raynor picked up by by NecroFin Mrgles. As always, Raynor, good overall hero. I'm curious about the Garrosh Mal'Ganis though. Garrosh is capable of offlaning. It requires him to take a pretty interesting build, but that invited a Malthael pick, which I think is actually the correct pick. Greymane also picked up. Hopefully both of these teams remember that they have heroes with banned talents. But Greymane, a little bit of a few changes to both of his level 20s. We will talk about that in just a moment. That is a Sergeant Hammer on Braxis. So the double tank makes a little bit more sense. Not a huge fan of double auto attacker. No substantial burst pre-10. They're looking for sustained fights, and with the Malthael, sustained fights are going to be rough because you have percent damage going out on your front line. Assuming Malthael lives long enough to do it, there's not going to be much of a front line left to really be able to protect that hammer for very long in order to actually get that value. So I'm interested to see what the offlane choice by NecroFin looks like. Looking at these heroes for the map, I will definitely give this to Soak Every Lane. Their comp is definitely scary. I think if you ever want to say this is a hard counter, that is, I believe that this is a hard counter draft. But we'll see. A lot of times draft doesn't matter as much. It really comes down to how the teams play. So let's go ahead and introduce Soak Every Lane here. Strokes on Greymane, Doubles on Anduin, Kid on ETC, DMN13 on Jaina, and Philip K on Malthael. Over on the red side, NecroFin Mrgles. We have Nalias on the Mal'Ganis, Matisup on Garrosh, Veclad on Ariel, Shogun Misa on the Sergeant Hammer, and in a surprise twist, we have Fenris on the Rainer in top lane. So this should be, I wouldn't say an easy offlane for Rainer, but it should definitely be something that requires an immense amount of skill on the side of Malthael to be able to actually win that side, win that lane, and also hold the point. So we do have a full Protect the Hammer comp, and Hammer is doing what she does best, and that is being irritating and virtually unreachable by the other team. The surprise, being unable to really counter the Hammer may really work out in their favor. I talked about them having a good counter. Not if Rainer's top, so that decision works out really well. Ilias in there a little bit. Do get a throw in from on the ETC into the backline. However, I guess this is the one thing that I was concerned about earlier, was you don't have burst. You don't really have any burst to follow up on any kind of engage by the tanks. DMN throws in, gets immediately pulled out. Nilius in there trying to make more follow up, but he's going to go ahead and eat a lot of damage and go 6 feet under. In the meantime, we did have a swap, so we have Greymane top now, which I do believe Greymane wins this 1v1 at 4. Maybe not before 4, definitely at 4 if he takes, speaking of which, take a look at talents. Kid sliding in really deep, looking to get some engage onto the Hammer. Does end up securing the kill, but Malthael ends up paying for it. Nelias on the Mal'Ganis coming down here, putting people to sleep, but with no damage in the bot lane anymore. Looks like Soak Every Lane should be able to hold the point for at least a little bit. As I say that, looks like Soak Every Lane conceding the point ever so slightly. Now we have Malthael back on the board. Shogun Miso setting up, going to be able to force her team to fight in the Hammer range, but 100% were Zergwave by NecroFin Mrgles. So the Hammer is working out for them a-okay at the moment. With the Zergwave, that allows them to set up the Hammer with the wave and be able to do a decent amount of damage onto structures. Okay, barely walking away. Nelius a little bit out. He's going to go ahead and claw his way out of that predicament. Now, 5-man bot looking to push the siege away, and it looks like they have done so. So Soak Every Lane may just barely defend their fort for now, but it is in imminent danger of falling at any time. And in the meantime, Fenris top lane, soaking, giving his team an ever so slight advantage. Kid rotating up here. Fenris a little bit far out. He's going to go ahead and get slid, blown away, I believe, by the ETC. There's a very good stun. However, Kid stepping into tower range ends up basically trading 1v1, so not a bad trade. Killing the offlaner gets your team a little bit of the experience. However, the counter kill Can I see experience? To what experience I can see? There we go. As a throw in on the Anduin by Garrosh. Out here a little bit deep. So we have a little bit. There it goes. A little bit deep. Was able to secure the kill onto the Anduin. Potential bush gank attempt by NecroFin. I'm gonna go ahead and walk away. Meanwhile, Raynor is still in the top lane alone. So Soak not being picked up. Soaker lane not doing what their name says they are going to do and not soaking every lane. But with the XP globes, should potentially not miss out. Though their rotation's a little bit slow, so they are gonna continue to lose some experience. Meanwhile, swapping of the lanes now that bot fort has been secured by NecroFin. Put Raynor in the bot lane. He is going to be relatively safe to basically do whatever he wants. Soaker lane maybe stepping up with the 4-man, or with the 5-man trying to get there's a huge wraparound by Philip K on Malthael. So this is now a 4v5. Nullius in there real deep. He is going to be slid, lots of damage, however not enough to secure the kill. Does get thrown out by the Garrosh. Shogamisha getting damage by the Malthael. They are sustaining just enough to be able to push and hold these points. And NecroFin is still continuing to creep up in experience. Camp taken bot lane, by the way. Jaina's got to go clear that up, so we have yet another change in the offlaner. Philip K thrown in, does manage to teleport out. Nullius putting him back to sleep, has no mana, and Hammer has now obtained Hover Siege, so basically can reposition at will and just continue to put an immense amount of pressure onto Soaker lane. Philip K thrown in, gets immediately pulled, goes back in. That may not work out too well for him. He is proving to be decently durable, however. Good slide in on the ETC. See if we can actually secure any kills. 10's picked up by NecroFin, but they are incredibly low. They do secure the Zerg wave, so Soaker is going to have to step up and defend this. Dubal's almost taking a dirt nap. Never mind. The BFG by Hammer securing that kill. That will definitely allow them to secure this top fort. And possibly even a keep wall. Double 10's still lagging by Soaker lane. They're going to struggle a little bit until that comes up. The question becomes how much damage do they end up eating in the meantime. Attempted to step up and grab a Warlord's challenge, pop the Indom, but unfortunately Wall was kind of in the way. Kind of just envisioned a Garrosh trying to walk into a glass door and not realizing that it's there. Potential bush gank by NecroFin Mrgles. They have had an incredibly good game so far. I'm actually been decently surprised by the fact that they're doing as well with the comp. I didn't really expect the Hammer to be able to do a whole lot into Soaker lane's comp, but then again, ETC's not necessarily built to just sit and take a large amount of damage. Philip K thrown in by the Garrosh, but teleports right back out. Meanwhile, Kid going in for an engage, eating a lot of damage, and ultimately goes down yet again to BFG. Good stasis to make sure that last right doesn't get any value. 2 for 0 kills with the Hammer. They can basically poke all day. Throwing Shade picked up by Malthael. Just now noticed that. So I imagine that's just trying to get onto the Hammer. So alt we have Carrion Swarm, Blunt Force, Rainers. Oh, well, 1 moment. Garrosh pops the Indom to pull himself away. Nice dodge on the ring. Ult popped by Nelius. Good stun by Garrosh. Looks like DMN is going to continue to chase here, and they do end up securing the kill here. So, chase slows by Jaina, secures them a kill on Garrosh. Now gives them the freedom to try and engage this, and this game, it looks like it may start swinging a little bit more in favor of Soak Every Lane. Kid tries to mosh, does get it cancelled, I think by the sleep. Good pickup on the invade on that camp. Walking away just barely. Lots of damage done to a lot of heroes on the side of Soak Every Lane. But the camp going to be immediately cleared. 13's picked up by Soak Every Lane, so they have a level and a half lead plus talent advantage going into this next objective. Multiple heroes backed on the side of Soak Every Lane. They're going to go ahead and get out 2 lanes, try and secure themselves level 13, while NecroFin Mrgles is out for blood at this point. They are stepping up. Indomitable Kid thrown, Tomb or Taunt hit 1 individual. Ring goes out, only hits Hammer. More than okay. Light Bomb out onto Philip K, but doesn't hit anyone. Still, the damage being pelted onto Soak Every Lane, and surprisingly, no one dies. Get disengaged by Soak Every Lane. So, 3rd Zerg wave in a row by NecroFin Mrgles. They are getting immense amount of value out of their comp. Throw in by Philip K. Once again, pops himself right out. Good mosh attempt, but ultimately gets cancelled. Pull it out onto Garrosh. NecroFin Mrgles are going to easily secure this keep. And Zergwave just crashing bot. They're probably going to secure that one as well. If I were them, I'd probably just go for the win at this point. It looks like they may go for that. Protect the hammer. So this is a little bit scary for NecroFin. So as I say that, Malthea went in trying to secure a kill. Nice roots. Nice ring by Jaina. Does ultimately go down though. So 3 for 2 kills, 3 for 1 kill by NecroFin Mrgles. There's a pull on a Greyman. This core, in the meanwhile, was eating a ton of damage from the Zerg. So ultimately, that ends up being a game 3. Pretty decisively game 3 by NecroFin Mrgles. So with that, that was a relatively clean game by NecroFin. Going into game number 1, had a little bit of a struggle, and then game number 2, pulling it out decently. You know, they did it really well to kind of turn that game in their favor. And then game 3, they pretty much had that hammer comp did work for them. I stand corrected. Soak Every Lane, if they had the answer, which I thought they did, I don't know if it's an execution, maybe it's the map. So I stand corrected. I will see if I can pull someone in from Soak Every Lane, or from the side of NecroFin. See what they have to say.
What's up, Raven?
Not too much. Good games.
Thank you. It was a very, very hard-fought game for sure.
Yeah, you guys, game one, Soaker Lane had a decent handle on that game. Game two, you guys swung it in your favor, and then talk primarily. Like I said, I'm gonna cut this relatively short, but game three, you guys pretty much owned that game.
We got a really strong comp with that map, especially just the combination, especially with what we saw from what it felt like playing. We interrupted that ETC a lot, so he couldn't get off a good mosh at all.
Yeah, and I had said in draft, I'm like, all right, so I don't like this draft. I did not like your guys' draft whatsoever. And I'm like, so all right, so they've got the double tank. Is this a garage off lane? And then my brain thought, okay, Raynor is an option, but I never said anything about it. And then you opted to do it. Raynor ends up beating Malthael decently, and then you guys start winning the 4-man. So they swap the Greymane and the Malthael, and then it looks like, okay, so this is a little bit more even. And ultimately, you guys secured every single one of those Zerg waves.
I feel like it might have been a little bit of tunnel visioning on their part because we didn't fight on the objective much after the initial objective. Every objective after that, we didn't have to fight on it. We fought on their side of the map and took the advantage on there.
Yeah, you guys did incredibly well, actually, running the Protect the Hammer, getting the value, the siege value. I figured Malthael was enough to kind of bully the tanks enough that the Hammer Raynor weren't going to get value, but ultimately you guys did. I think you're right. I think Soka really ended up kind of trying to force engagements instead of wearing you down, and ultimately you guys played into that incredibly well.
Yeah, and even if they did try to go to wear us down, I have infinite healing over time as Oriole, so I think it would have worked in our favor in that sense as well, because yeah.
Well, you make me sad because you didn't take res. I don't care about stacking the Malthael. Just take res. No, I'm just kidding. You did really well personally on stopping those last straights. I don't think he got a single kill with it.
No, it was a combination of all of our interrupts with the Hammer, the Raynor, and I. We really did not want a single mosh to get off.
Oh no! You definitely stopped the mosh, but no, I'm talking about last straights.
Oh.
You did well, protecting from the last straight. So obviously your alt choice is acceptable, but I still don't like it.
Hey man, I mean they took res every time, so you got your fill.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna turn it over. Do you have anything you want to call out? Shout out to your teams, to your team, to the enemy team. Anybody else?
I mean, shout out to Soak Every Lane. They did really well tonight. I think it was a pretty back and forth game, back and forth set. I think, and it was really fun to play against them. We learned a lot, and I hope they did too, just to improve all of our gameplay. And shout out to the Mrgles. We got a lot of Mrgle teams this season. That's always fun to see.
All of the Murlocs. So since you're in my division, I'm gonna say you're the first team to beat our variant comp last week, and the only team so far. Well, from the two games, you're the only two. This is we actually, interestingly, we played you both already so far this season. So it's gonna be interesting to see how the rest of the season shapes up for the division, as I'm seeing a lot of teams kind of take games off each other. And looking at our division overall, we have a decent progression of you are not alone sitting at 12 points, and then we have two teams at 9, two teams at 8, one at 6. You guys tied four ways at 5. So like the division so far, it looks like it's decently close. So I can't wait to see how the season continues and to see where everyone falls as we get closer to mid-season.
I can't either. I haven't had much time to look at the scores because I've got a bunch of schoolwork, but the semester just ended, so I'll have a lot more time to do some more research and really get into the nitty gritty of everything. And the season is shaping up to be looking really fun. Every single game we've had, it's been back and forth, always gone to the third game. So we're having a lot of fun.
And that's really all that matters, you know. Um, I'm enjoying casting, so you guys continue to enjoy playing. Uh, See if you continue to schedule games at midnight.
Hey man, that's our time.
Well, once again, good games, congratulations, and good luck to you rest of the season.
You too, man.
All right.
We'll see you. Good night.
Yep. Good night. All right, that is going to be it for me this evening. Thank you once again for joining the Raven. I do appreciate you. This may be my last cast for a few days. We got practice in the game tomorrow. I am not going to be staying up until 1 a.m., 1:30 a.m. For another few days trying to catch up on some sleep. So I will be trying to pick up some games later in the week, but with the holidays coming up, I don't know how many games there's even going to be going into next week. So once again, thank you very much for